What time is it? 3 a.m. and I'm still charting? Does this sound familiar? I mean, for years, this was my reality as a physician. Today, I'm going to share with you how I went from feeling constantly overwhelmed to finding true, genuine balance without sacrificing my success. And the best part? It's actually simpler than you might believe. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Tom Moorcroft, and as a physician and transformational coach, I'm often referred to as the stress alchemist because I've lived both sides of this story. The overwhelming stress of medical practice, the constant pressure to perform, and yes, those late night charting sessions. But I've discovered a way to maintain high performance while actually enjoying my life. And today, I'm going to pull back that curtain on my personal practices that make this all possible. Let's start with the most crucial part of my day, the morning. Yeah, now I know what you're thinking, oh, another morning routine video, but stick with me because this is completely different. Instead of cramming my morning with a dozen must-do activities, I focus on one thing, and that's presence. Before even looking at any devices or thinking about my patient load, I take 5 minutes, right? Stand in front of the mirror, check in with myself, and then I ask myself one simple question. And no, it's not what do I need to do today? It's actually, how do I need to show up today? This isn't about productivity, it's about intention. And yes, some days the answer is simply, I need to survive today. And that's perfectly okay, but the power is in the awareness of your emotional state and how you're actually feeling. The second game changer for me was really like realizing that time management, it's not the answer. Energy management is. Instead of cramming every minute with tasks, I now schedule my day around my energy peaks and valleys. So for example, if I have complex cases or important meetings, I would usually schedule during those morning peak energy times. The other thing is, I often will block out time in the morning for deep work. Because I just remember, before I started doing this, I just always felt overwhelmed. I was getting all the to-dos done, and I never had time to actually get done what I wanted to do. One of my coaches once said that, hey, your inbox is just everyone else's to-do list being sent over to you, right? And so I have someone else checking my inbox right now. And when I have to go in and look, I'm never looking in the morning because that's where I need to manage my energy the most. And so that means that administrative work waits because that can be done in those afternoon energy lull times. And so really what it boils down to is when my energy is the highest, I want to focus on that creative thinking and planning so that I can feel the most inspired and give it my all. But here's the key. I build in what I call buffer zones. And these are those 15-minute spaces between appointments. They're not for catching up for work. They're actually for catching your breath and coming back and being present in the moment. I mean, all of us have had those times where, an appointment runs just a little bit over and then next thing you know, it's running into the other one. Or you have a meeting and you're stoked and you're getting stuff done. Oh, all of a sudden you're 15 minutes late to an appointment. It's like everything's back to back to back. And what I found was like, that's not possible because I'm really just at the mercy of the clock. If I create a buffer zone, I've got a little catch-up time. A lot of times in my professional calendar, I might do 2 or 3 appointments in a row, then I'll have a 15 or 20-minute break. And if I have time for my team to meet with them, I want to have a little bit of time before or after so that I can have a bio break. I can take a deep breath. Again, coming back to that presence in the moment. This is actually crucial. This was one of the biggest game changers for me is when I actually put buffer zones in. I mean, and I'll give you one last example. How many times have you run from patient appointments to the airport to catch a flight to a conference, right? We all need to go get CME. We want to catch up with our friends. I realized that I was never planning travel time. And this just put so much stress in my day if that wasn't planned out. But if you plan it ahead, I know I literally have blue buffer zones in my calendar, and you can see that's different than everything else I do. This orangish yellow rust color is for my patients time, and then I have buffer zones in blue. Personal meetings and things that I'm doing in my own life are this light green. So for me, these colors can trigger it. But that dark blue buffer zone is just like an ocean of safety and presence each and every day throughout the day. And then there's this part that I call the reality check method, right? So let's get real for a moment. Some days, everything I described just goes out the window, right? The emergencies come in, the systems crash, life happens. And that's why I use what I call the reality check. Pause for about 30 seconds. Take 3 nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. This is a nice detoxifying breath and will calm things down. And then I ask myself, what is one thing that I can actually control right now? This simple practice has saved me countless numbers of times from spiraling down into that stress and overwhelm. And so once you get really comfortable using that reality check method throughout your day, one of the practices that I love doing is really to just end my day with calm, presence, and awareness. So you can do this kind of a 3-3-3 reset. So start off by taking 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And after you take those 3 calming, centering breaths, name 3 things that you are grateful for throughout your day. No matter how big or small, just pointing them out, the awareness of them really helps you see some of the things you may have overlooked throughout your day that are actually quite positive. And then write down 3 things that you're grateful for that are going to happen tomorrow. Start pre-planning your day for the next day. This will allow you to move into a state of gratitude as well as awareness. This will improve immune function, decrease stress, and increase that parasympathetic state that we all really want to help us get really great deep sleep. And once you get really comfortable doing this on a regular basis, maybe 7 or 10 days, maybe even it's a month or 2, then when you're practicing the reality check in the moment when you need it, and you're doing the 3-3-3 reset towards the end of the day, you might even want to start to do the 3-3-3 reset whenever you feel overwhelmed. Realistically, it takes less than a minute, but it can completely shift your state to that next level. So remember, balance isn't about perfection, it's about presence. Start small, be consistent, and most importantly, be compassionate with yourself. And if you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button for more practical strategies on maintaining balance while pursuing excellence. And hey, drop a comment below, share your biggest challenge with finding balance. I read every comment and would love to hear your story. And until next time, this is Dr. Tom Moorcroft reminding you that true success includes taking care of yourself.